The opportunity to reach the postseason lies in front of the Indians. The schedule seems to lean in their favor, but they must take advantage of it. First in town, a struggling Astros team with nothing to lose. A team that would love nothing more than to play spoiler to someone else's playoff dreams. The Tribe sits a half game out in the AL wild card, and the stretch run starts next on Sports Time Ohio. From Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, the Indians return home 45-30 on the year. They'll need to improve upon that record if they want to chase down a playoff spot. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. The Houston Astros are in town. The Astros have already lost 101 games on the year. The Indians have to take care of business. It's simple as that. And they might have the right hand on the mound to start things off, Ubaldo Jimenez.
Without a doubt, Ubaldo has been one of the best pitchers in the second half. When you think about it, his last start, he came awfully close to completing a game. Probably could have completed that game if Francona wanted him. A low ERA, the walks are down, the strikeouts are up. He's really mixing in his fastball. He's been very, very good this year and in his career 4-0 against the Astros. He will be matched up against left-hander Dallas Keuchel, who is 1-0. He has made 2 starts against the Indians.
Yeah, remember it was just last year down in Houston. Dallas Keuchel went complete game, gave up just 1 run in beating the Cleveland Indians. Stick around. The Indians and the Astros, the 10-gallon hats are in town to try to play spoiler here tonight. The Indians will need to bring the bats if they want to get rolling here at home. The play-by-play is next. And we welcome you into Progressive Field for the series opener between the Indians and the Houston Astros as the Tribe kicks off its final homestand of the season. The Indians come in 82-70 on the year. The Tribe sits a half game out in the wild card race. Tampa Bay and Texas will play tonight to wrap up their series. Whoever loses that game, if the Indians can win, the Tribe would move a half game in front of that team, and they would move into one of the 2 wild card spots in the American League. For Bo Porter's Houston Astros, they come in with 101 losses on the season. It's their 3rd consecutive year in which they've lost 100 games or more. They need 4 wins in their final 10 games to avoid setting the franchise's all-time record for futility. That, and the fact they've got a chance to play spoiler, still makes them somewhat of a dangerous opponent in this 4-game series. A lot on the line for the Tribe as Ubaldo Jimenez takes the hill for Cleveland here tonight, looking for his 13th win of the season. He's been one of the best, if not the best, pitcher in the American League since the All-Star break, since the end of July, since the 31st of July. His ERA of 1.97 is the best in the American League. Let's take a look at the lineup he'll face tonight for Bo Porter's Houston Astros. Jonathan Villar leads off. He's the shortstop. Jose Altuve at second base, bats second. Former Indian Trevor Crowe bats third. Mark Krause in left field will hit cleanup. Then Matt Dominguez, a solid player, bats fifth. Chris Carter will hit sixth. Brett Wallace, the DH, batting seventh. L.J. Hose in right field bats eighth. And Cody Clark will catch and hit ninth.
Ubaldo Jimenez making start number 30 this year. He is 12-9, and in his last 3 starts, he's 3-0 with a .43 ERA with 22 strikeouts, 3 walks. He's been very good. You can extend it out. Let's go to 10 straight starts where he has a 1.83 ERA. Against the West this year, in 8 games, he's 4-2 and a 2.72, and he's 4-0 against the Astros in his career. Let's check out the Kia Indians defense behind him this evening. It's Brantley in left, Bourne is in center, Stubbs is in right. It'll be Aviles at third, Cabrera at short, Kipnis at second, Swisher at first, Gomes behind the plate, and you want to see them tighten that defense up now.
The umpires tonight: Dale Scott, your crew chief, calling the balls and strikes. Todd Tischner is at first base. Jordan Baker at second. C.B. Buckner is down at third. Jonathan Villar will lead off for Houston. The Astros, a bit of a weary team coming into tonight's ball game. They played into the wee hours of the morning last night at home against the Cincinnati Reds, an extra inning game. They wound up losing by a final score of 6-5. They landed in Cleveland at 6 o'clock this morning. 74 degrees, our game time temperature. Villar, big cut, fouls it straight back. It's 0-2. The Indians arrived home at around 3 o'clock in the morning after a late night in Kansas City. Now the 0-2 pitch. Down in the dirt. Villar able to lay off. Jose Altuve waiting on deck. Strike 3 called. Good one down pitch here in the first.
Good pitch right on the outside corner.
With more on Ubaldo Jimenez, who has been on quite a roll. Here's Katie with him.
Well, Matt, Ubaldo has that air about him that you saw in Colorado. It's that swagger that the front of rotation guys have. And the big thing, the big difference, Matt, is he really believes in himself. He told me he feels like he just keeps getting stronger. Callaway said that they've seen it in his pitches. His fastball velocity's up, his slider velocity's up, and it also has a sharper, more deliberate movement on it, all because that confidence.
Well, Mickey Callaway deserves a ton of credit for breaking through to Ubaldo Jimenez and making him believe in his fastball again.
Yeah.
And that's led to that confidence, and it's amazing what a difference that has made for Ubaldo Jimenez. I think Mickey believed that he was focusing so much, Rick, on getting his fastball velocity back that his mechanics went from not real good to completely unmanageable.
He had to program his whole mind. He's not going to be the pitcher he was. 2-3 years ago. He still has enough on his fastball to be a very good pitcher. Just use it and command it. And I'll tell you what, he's been staying out of the middle of the plate. He's been ahead of a lot of the hitters. That one right there on the outside edge.
The 1-2 pitch to Altuve, a breaking ball hit in the air to right field. Drew Stubbs has it measured, 2 down. The keys to the game tonight brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital. Play a clean game. I think defensively, last night they hurt themselves. I'm not going to say they beat themselves, but they hurt themselves in their chances to win against Kansas City. They've got to play better on defense.
Yeah, you go back to the last 6 games, even those 3 they played here against Kansas City, they made 7 errors in the 6 games against Kansas City. Then you lost 4 of the 6.
And, of course, that's just the errors. Last night there was a play where Yan Gomes lost sight of the runner. That's not an error,
right,
but that's a mental mistake.
Right.
The 0-1 pitch. And you're not going to play clean every game. Every player, it's late in the season. Young players like Yan Gomes, like Jason Kipnis, these guys, not only the physical toll, but the mental wear and tear of playing every single day. You're going to have a game like that every once in a while. The 0-2. Hit foul out of play. Trevor Crowe getting an opportunity with the Astros. He's hit in 10 of his last 11 games at home. He's been a starter 16 out of the last 17 games since he was called up on September 1st. Ubaldo with the 0-2. Fastball up and away. This is Trevor Crowe's second stint with the big league club this year. And the 1-2 delivery. Wow. That was a good-looking pitch. Not sure what was wrong with it.
Well, we'll take a look at it on our Nissan pitch tracker. He's sitting off the plate, and that might have been off the plate. It didn't come in and get it. Stayed off. A tough one to lay off, though.
Now the 2-2. Swung out and missed. He struck him out. Ubaldo Jimenez with a couple of Ks in the first. The Astros go 1-2-3. Cleveland is coming to bat. Brought to you by Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. Michael Bourne in the leadoff spot, followed by Nick Swisher. Jason Kipnis will bat third. Carlos Santana in the cleanup spot. Jan Gomes will hit fifth as Dribble Cabrera will bat sixth. Then Michael Brantley in the seventh spot. Mike Avila's eighth, and Drew Stubbs will hit ninth.
25-year-old Dallas Keuchel on the mound, the left-hander, 6-9. He has made 20 starts. This will be start number 21. 5.17 ERA. He did pitch against the Indians earlier this year. Coming out of the bullpen April 20th, 2 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs, and he threw 74 pitches in that outing.
Dallas Keuchel delivers, and in for a strike. It's 0-2 on Michael Bourne. Bourne, a one-time Houston Astro, has hit in 8 straight games, 10 for his last 32, and looks at a ball down low. Upstairs. Two-two pitch. Punched out of play. Nick Swisher waiting on deck. And that misses outside. A full count. Payoff pitch. Bounce slowly towards second base. Altuve has to get rid of it in a hurry, and he does to retire Bourne, one down.
Let's take a look at the Astros defense tonight. They've made 113 errors, which is second to last in the league. Cross is in left, Crow in center, Hose is in right. Dominguez at third, Villar at short, Altuve at second, Carter is at first with Clark behind the plate.
Nick Swisher, like Michael Bourne, has hit in 8 straight games. Looks at a ball outside. 10 hits and 31 at-bats for Swisher during his 8-game streak with 3 home runs. One ball and 1 strike. Slow curve, and that misses. 2 balls and a strike. Much higher batting average. I mean, 70 points. Better from the right side. Even up 2-2. You know, I had forgotten that the game that Dallas Keuchel pitched against the Indians earlier this year, he actually came out of the bullpen.
Right.
Philip Umber started that game.
Yes.
And Umber was eventually designated for assignment by Houston, and it was just, what, a year ago? Wasn't it a year ago he threw the perfect game?
Up in Seattle against the Mariners when he was a White Sox.
How quickly things can turn in this game.
Well, Keuchel, too, now. This is his first start in this ballpark. You remember when he was a rookie last year, he hurled his first career complete game against the Indians back in June. It was an 8-1 win for them. He went 9 innings, 6 hits. Walked 1 and struck out 3.
Nick Swisher's got a full count after he had to dance out of the way of that last pitch. Swisher got a hanger, drives it to deep left field. It's going to be off the wall. Nick digging for 2, and he'll go in standing with a 1-out double. That's his 25th 2-bagger of the year.
Well, the catcher called for a fastball, and Keuchel says, "Nah, I'm going to wait around." He threw him the 3-2 changeup, and watch where he leaves this pitch, and that's why it gets hammered off the wall. You throw that changeup down. You keep a changeup up there, he is going to be hit hard. Swisher hits it off, and it catches the top of that padding, and it sort of deadens it a little bit, which was good. If it comes directly off, to Krause and left. He would have held Swisher to a single. So Nick gets his double, his 25th of the year.
And now a hit in 9 straight as Jason Kipnis comes to the plate. Jason trying to snap out of an 0 for 11 slump. Our stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio Buick dealers. Quite an improvement this year for the Indians against left-handed starters.
Boy, I'll say.
Driven to center field. That's a base hit. Swisher coming around third. They're going to wave him home. Trevor Crow's throw to the plate hits the mound, and Swisher scores standing. The Indians will play from in front. They take a 1-0 lead on Kipnis. 79th run batted in on the year as he snaps that 0 for 11 with a solid single to center.
Well, Kipnis comes up, breaks up his string. The Indians will play from in front. This will be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. Back-to-back hits. That's a breaking ball. Kipnis stayed right on. And, you know, I think that Swisher thought he was going to stop at third base, but no siree. Brad Mills is going to chase him home, and you can see that ball hit the back of the mound. See, he wasn't thinking of going home. He sort of pulled up. Let's go. Put it in gear. Get the lead. They have it, 1-0.
So now Kipnis at first base with 28 steals on the year. Carlos Santana steps in. Upstairs, ball 1. Santana 18 homers, 67 ribbies on the year. That's in the air to right center field. Hose, the right fielder, makes the catch. And back to first goes Kipnis, 2 down. That'll bring up Yan Gomes. Tribe's catcher with a hit in each of his last 2 games. He's been swinging the bat much better of late. September the 10th had his career-high 9-game hitting streak snapped. He's just been very steady as she goes all season long. You minimize your slumps, and that's usually a recipe for a very consistent year.
Well, he's getting more playing time now, so you get a little tired, you know, and things, you battle your way through it. He's learning a lot about himself now, I think. You get that opportunity to catch every day, go behind the plate, which is priority number 1. And then your offense, that comes next. You know, and it's a heavy load for a young kid getting his first crack behind the dish.
Well, with more on Yan Gomes in that time behind the dish, here's Katie.
Well, Matt, Yan Gomes looking forward to this series because he's going to see 3 left-handed pitchers. He told me he likes hitting lefties because he feels more comfortable. The ball tends to break in towards him, and that enables him to recognize those pitches a little sooner.
The 0-2 coming up right here, and it's a little bit high. It all depends. There are some right-handed hitters that love playing lefties. Some don't because they grow up facing all right-handed pitchers.
More righties like the ball going away from them, I think, than that like it coming in. You know, because nowadays the left-handers have so many change-ups, it's going down and away from them.
Keuchel strikes him out to end the inning, but the Tribe strikes first here tonight. Jason Kipnis with the RBI single, and the Indians lead it 1-0. McDonald's now introducing 3 exciting new quarter pounders. And by Kia. Second inning, Tribe with a 1-0 lead. Mark Krause will lead off for the Astros. Up and away for ball 1. Mark Krause, an Ohio product. He was a second-round pick by the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I would think if you're a young player coming up in the Astros organization, you're going to have a chance to get a look-see. If you're, right there between AA, AAA.
Krause laces a single right back up the middle for the Astros' first hit of the ballgame. And the former Ohio U Bobcat is aboard to start the second.
Well, it's fastball right there. That's what he does. Takes it right back up the middle. First hit for Houston. Good swing.
Now Matt Dominguez. Dominguez takes a strike. Dominguez came from the Miami Marlins in exchange for Carlos Lee last July. And the Astros really believe he will be one of their building blocks for the future. He's going to bloop this one in for a base hit. And Houston has back-to-back singles to start the second.
Well, that's one of those balls when you're a center fielder, you see it's in slow motion, and you know no matter how hard you try, you're never going to get there.
Up comes Chris Carter, our Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index. The Houston Astros closing in on the all-time record. 1,424 strikeouts, and this guy right here is a big reason why he's already fanned 201 times this year.
Well, you figure they got, 10 games left, so they need to, if they average around 10, they have a chance of doing it.
Want to know the count. Now, Carter also has good power. He's hit 27 home runs. He's driven in 77. Got a piece. It's 1-1.
Yeah, as a team, they hit 243. That is 13th in the league. They're 12th in runs scored, 596. That's going to bloop down in there.
That's 3 straight hits in the inning. Stubbs almost overran the ball, but he makes a nice play. And the Astros have loaded the bases.
That's, again, another bad job of base running on second base by Krause. You've got to recognize this is a big hitter. You have to know where the outfielders are playing. He bloops that ball in, and they're playing deep off this guy because he has power. You knew right off the bat that thing was going to fall for a hit, and he stayed at second base for a while, and he could only move up one base. He should have scored because you could see Stubbs didn't come in quickly. He had to wait, and that's just a break for the Indians because now they have the bases loaded and nobody out.
Brett Wallace will be the batter. Wallace serving as the DH. Fouled right back out of play on the off-speed pitch. This is one of those times in a game where a pitcher really uses strikeout. Ubaldo struck out 2 in the first, but here in the second, after the leadoff line drive single by Krause, a couple of bloops, and Houston is in business. Swung out and missed. It's 0-2. Wallace on the air, 1 for 7 with the bases loaded. And the Astros as a team hitting .244 in bases loaded situations. Strike 3 called. 1 down here in the second inning.
Yeah, dotted the I on the inside corner. Good pitch. He was not looking in there. Third strikeout for Jimenez, and keeps him. They wanted it up, but it was in there. It was a very good pitch. He just didn't pull the trigger. And as a hitter, you've got to protect. You've got runners everywhere. Ubaldo gets out number 1. He's a pitch away from getting out of it now.
LJ Hose will be the batter now. Out of the 8th spot tonight for Houston. Hose came over from Baltimore, part of the package in which the Astros sent Bud Norris to the Orioles. He's made 35 starts now, including tonight for Houston. Lays off another one, 2-0.
Gets himself in a good hitter's count.
And Ubaldo finds the strike zone. It's 2-1. Hose has picked up a hit in 5 of his last 6. 6 out of his last 7. Jimenez trying to work out of an early jam here in the second.
I know he doesn't like what Gomes is putting down there.
2-2. Crowd would love to see another strikeout. Though Baldo would also love to see a ground ball right in an infielder. Either way.
That's what he wanted that last pitch. I think he went with a 2-seamer there, looking for the ground ball.
Hit to right field. Stubbs has to go back on it. He'll make the catch, but the Astros will tie the game. Tagging and scoring is Mark Krause. Dominguez tags at second and goes to third. 2 down in the inning as Hose picks up RBI number 10.
He did a good job of getting his job done, and that was staying back on a breaking ball and driving it the other way. His 10th RBI, and it is, you're going to see a breaking ball coming up, and he left it right down the middle. That certainly helped him go that way with it to get his job done. It wasn't a good located one, but they come right back and score. It's a 1-1 game.
Now Cody Clark. 1 hit in 29 at-bats this year for Houston. Clark in there because Jason Castro, their talented catcher, is done for the year. Castro had some issues with his knee. Some irritation. They couldn't quite figure out what the problem was. He had surgery today to remove a cyst from that knee. They report that all is fine now. He should be good to go for next year, but done for the rest of this campaign. He going to try to squeeze one home? No, the runner third stays. Throw to first. They got him. The inning is over. All right. Ubaldo says thank you. I'll take it. The Astros tie the game 1-1 middle of the second. Tied 1-1. Rick, when you're a manager and you've got a lot of young players on your team, there are growing pains that come with that and mistakes that leave a manager just shaking his head. Bo Porter in that situation, you've got the number 9 hitter up there. And
I know he's struggling, and the guy wants to try and get the guy home, but you bunt there with 2 outs, and even if he bunted safely, that guy at third didn't know it, and he was standing there. So you have to ask him, go ahead and swing the bat, young man, let's go.
He's had to take a number of young players aside at times this year, and the thing that he's talked about is something that you've always talked about, and that is, as a player, know the situation, know what's going on in the game. Look at the scoreboard. That'll dictate.
Yeah.
He said you should know before you step into the batter's box if it's time to maybe stretch a single into a double or things of that nature, not as the play's going on.
Yeah, the scoreboard dictates everything. Base running, where you're going, defensively, what you're doing. Just pay attention to the game. But, I mean, when you have to constantly teach, it's not like major leaguers where you have veterans here teaching them. A player should have called them aside and at least talked to them. If not, then I guarantee one of the coaches will, if not the manager.
Asdrubal Cabrera, a little dribbler. This is going to work out just fine. It'll be an infield hit for Asdrubal, and the Indians have their leadoff man aboard. All right, go back and look at that play again with our AT&T U-verse rewind.
And you see the third baseman's back. He just didn't bunt it hard enough or make the perfect bunt. But it's a young guy up there. You have first and third. I mean, and Ubaldo makes the play. Look at the guy from third was shocked. He doesn't even come home, and you still get him by a step or two.
And it's one thing maybe if you're a road runner, but the catcher,
yeah,
unless the third baseman falls down, there's a good chance you're not going to beat out a bunt hit.
We'll see if it happens again this series. Hopefully, you learn from something like that. I'm not saying that you can't bunt with 2 outs sometimes, but that wasn't the right time in the first inning or second inning.
Michael Brantley with a hit in 3 straight games, 5 out of his last 11. And the count quickly 0-2. Now the 0-2, low and away. Brantley able to lay off. Indians striking for a run in the first inning, but Houston comes right back in the second to tie it. Same pitch, same result. It's 2-2.
Well, Keuchel, a pitcher that in the first, his ERA is 2.49, and then it goes up to the second inning, 5.14, the third inning, 5.14, and the fourth is 6.30. So, he has a tougher time when those hitters start going through the second and possibly the third time.
Brantley strikes out, 1 down. Second strikeout for the lefty. Let's go downstairs once again and check in with Katie.
Well, Matt, Mike Aviles told me today that playing Houston right now is an extremely dangerous team to play. When you look at this group of young players who are going out playing for their jobs every day. Aviles said that he was part of a team like that when he played in Kansas City. And because they weren't going to the playoffs, he said we relished the fact that, hey, we were going to play spoiler. We were going to do whatever it took to knock somebody else out. And he said that's exactly what they kind of see the Houston Astros coming in here trying to do.
No doubt about it. The Astros hung in there last night against the playoff-bound Cincinnati club and took them to extra innings before the Reds ultimately prevailed.
Well, we talked about it in the or in the pregame show, the longer you let them hang around, the more confidence they will get as a team. You try and get an early lead. The Indians did, but they came right back and got a run. You just got to try and get that lead and keep applying the pressure to them. Defensively, they may struggle a little bit, and just don't let them feel like they have a chance against you. You can take them out of the game early. But then again, it all dictates from that guy in the center of the diamond.
The 1-1 pitch, a little bit outside. I also wonder, too, sometimes, Mike Avila is saying that, hey, the Astros are a dangerous team. You almost wonder if the players don't just start talking about that to sort of use that as motivation themselves, to make sure.
Don't have a letdown.
Yeah, to make sure and nobody in this locker room is looking past them.
Well, they shouldn't, because if they take care of their own business, they're in really good shape. They know what they have to do. Just do it. Doesn't matter who you're playing.
Mike Aviles has put himself in a good spot here. 3-1 the count as he tries to snap an 0 for 18 slump. As Dribble Cabrera with the infield hit to start the inning. And a liner to short for out number 2. Our great clip of the game. Let's go back to April. Drew Stubbs into the popcorn over the head of Rick Ankiel. Right into the popcorn bucket.
Beautiful.
Great clips. It's going to be great. And Katie went down and bought the guy a new bucket of popcorn. She's got a big heart.
I think she's down there eating popcorn right now as we speak.
Between popcorn and Canhead, those are her two
She's got
biggest
it all
highlights of
covered.
the year right there. The 0-1. A little bit outside. One pitch. And that's tapped foul. Second inning, tied at 1. Down in the dirt. Texas scored a run on Tampa in the top half of the first. The Rays come right back and answer in the bottom of the first. 1-1 down in St. Pete. That's a game we'll keep a close eye on all night long. The 2-2. Stubbs went chasing after it. The inning is over. 2 complete. We're tied at 1. Third inning, top of the order, and Jonathan Villar will lead it off. He was called out on strikes his first time up. Ubaldo the line, and it's a little bit high. Takes a belt high strike. Villar's done a pretty good job of getting on base. A .400 on base percentage in the month of September. .363 for the year. That's just 48 games played. A little bit inside, 2-1. And in that short time, he has stolen 17 bases. And Adam Everett was the last Houston shortstop to steal 17 or more in a season, and that was
this is
7-8 years ago.
Short stint.
Yeah. Again, a close pitch, but
see, that's one thing that Ubaldo's done in the second half that he didn't do in the first half. A lot of times trying to come inside for strike three, and he's been able to hit with that pitch. That's a very effective pitch for not just him, for anybody. And now he goes back away and gets the call.
Second time Villar's been out on strikes, and that was a perfect pitch outside corner at the knees.
Yeah, but it is set up, too, by that pitch right before it. He went inside, so you get a hitter sometimes looking in there, and then with 2 strikes, that's just a perfect pitch. At the knees, down and away. But the point is, Callaway's been trying to get him to use that fastball and pitch inside, and he tries to get all his pitchers to pitch inside, and even more so than what they're doing. But I guess with Ubaldo, you have to, once you try something, you have to have a little success with it. And once you get it, then you get a little confidence and things start to grow from that point on.
Jose Altuve with a line drive the opposite way for a 1-out single here in the third. And up comes Trevor Crowe, who struck out his first time up. Runner goes. Gomes throw. They got him. Altuve gunned down. He has 35 steals on the year. But Yan Gomes ready for the challenge and a perfect strike to get him.
Yeah, he took his time, and even though he had a good jump, look how quickly he releases the ball. And that one, much better, didn't overthrow it. There it comes. Cabrera gets it and brings the tag back to get him. Altuve caught for the 12th time this year. That's one more than Michael Bourne.
Two down in the inning. Swung on and missed. Trevor Crowe was the Indians' first-round pick back in June of 2005. That was the 14th overall selection in the draft. He hit .245 over parts of 3 seasons in the big leagues for Cleveland. Swung on and missed. Ubaldo strikes him out again. Already 5 punch-outs for Jimenez. 1-1, middle of the third. Just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Michael Bourne steps in to lead off the bottom of the third for the Tribe, and Dallas Keuchel delivers up high, ball one. Bourne grounded out to second base, his first and only time up. Crowd settling in. Indians jumped on the Astros for a run on the top of the first. Houston countering with a run in the top of the second. A couple of bloop singles and a sac fly enabled Houston to get on the board. Bourne slaps one by the third baseman. Oh, a foul ball, not by much. Boy, that looked like a double for sure, but Michael Bourne can't believe it. C.B. Buckner, the third base umpire, right on the line, so nobody had a better look than he did.
Well, he had to jump up in the air and move his feet.
Oh, that's a fair
I don't
ball.
know if that hit the line or not. That would
chalk.
certainly, it looked like it did. It looked like it hit the outside of the chalk. He was jumping up in the air, and from that angle, it looked like it caught it.
And it doesn't matter if it's on the outside part of the line. If it's chalk, it's chalk.
Any line, yeah. Any part of it.
Bourne strikes out, and it looked like, at least on the first look of the replay, he got a bad break.
We'll zoom in and see if we can see anything. This is going to be a tough angle. Let's see. Hard to tell there. You got to slow that down a little bit. He said foul. He was right there now. It was close.
Already 4 strikeouts now for Dallas Keuchel. One down here in the third. Nick Swisher will be the batter. Swisher doubled and came around to score in the first. Nick has now hit in 9 straight. And a big curveball in for a strike.
Keuchel has had 6 0-2 1-2 counts tonight.
Ran it in off the plate. Pop back out of play. Now the 1-2. And Swisher fights it off. It stays fair, and it goes foul at the end.
He caught a break.
I like the little juke move on Swisher's part. Went about 5 yards out of the baseline.
That's a big man. You can't run over the lineman. You got to give him a little head fake. And that's what you're yelling. Get foul. Hit that grass. Move. Get foul. You can see it does. He can't get to it. Carter can't get to it until it does go foul. That's the home plate umpire's call until it gets to first base.
And the 1-2. Low and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swisher with a base hit. His second hit of the night. He's 2 for 2. So a 1-out base runner here in the third for Jason Kipnis. And it's time to take a look at tonight's trivia question, brought to you by AT&T. 4 players in Major League history have hit 8 or more home runs in 5 consecutive games. We'll have the answer coming up later in the game. Jason Kipnis. After Swisher doubled in the first inning, Kipnis singled him home. And he looks at ball 1 here. Mentioned before, Kipnis came into the game 0 for 11. Terry Francona saying before the game, he said, he's a player who may be physically a little bit tired at this point in the season. But nothing will give you an energy boost like an RBI single, and that's what Kipnis got his first time up. Put a little more pep in the old step. And he's down on the count 1-2. Go back to that first inning.
Yeah, stayed on the breaking ball there. Drives in the first run. That'll get you going. First at bat could have a lot to do with it.
When you get to a point late in the season and physically you're just tired, is it the legs or is it the bat feels like you're swinging a telephone pole?
Well, I don't know. It could be a little anything. It could be mental. It could be a mental thing where you dig deep and you give it everything you got. Sometimes you just try too hard. Sometimes you're exhausted. You're giving everything you have.
Bounce to short. There's one on the first. Double play. 3 complete. The Indians won and the Astros won.
Game that puts you in the owner's suite is now available free on iPhone and iPad. Build your stadium and make the decisions to guide your team to the World Series. You can download MLB Ballpark Empire free today.
For Houston here in the 4th inning, Mark Krause, Matt Dominguez, and Chris Carter. All 3 of them singled in the 2nd inning. Krause had the line drive single to center, and then Dominguez blooped one in. Carter blooped one in. And eventually a sac fly got the Astros the tying run home. Hit well, deep right field. Stubbs going to watch it. Short hop the fence. And Krause is into second base. He's going to turn and thought about maybe 3. But he scampers back in. I'll tell you what, that was a lot closer right there at the very end. He almost didn't get that hand in safely.
I don't know what he was thinking about. First extra base hit now for the Astros. He hit this ball right on the nose, and I think when he saw that Stubbs had a little problems coming off the wall, watch this thing ricochet. It hits the fence and kicks away from him. But by the time he throws it in, and then he thought about kicking it into gear, and he's not a speedster to begin with. So it'll go in as a double. He's 2 for 2.
And Matt Dominguez takes a strike. Good pitch. I mean, right on the outside corner. 0-2. Bounced it, and a nice block by Gomes.
Yeah, you save that base there with nobody out. Don't allow him to get to third base. And this ball was way out in front of the plate, so see how he kept that body in front of it? It almost looked like it deflected off his arm, but he tried to use that chest protector.
Upstairs with it, 2-2. Swung on and missed. Another strikeout for Ubaldo. That's a half dozen Ks on the night. One down here in the fourth. As Dominguez swung through a pitch that was letter high.
Yeah, elevated fastball. They want to go back inside, and you can see that's a good spot to go to just about any hitters. You get belled high, and you get on the inside part of that plate with 2 strikes. Strikeout number 6, and he keeps that runner at second base.
Here is Chris Carter. Carter, big man, but he blooped a hit into shallow right field his first time up. And a pitch low for ball 1. Broke his bat. It's going to stay fair. Aviles, a long throw from third on the money. 2 down. Right now on FoxSportsOhio.com. What are Browns players saying about the big trade of Trent Richardson? Good move, bad move? We want your feedback. And will Braxton Miller be ready for Saturday's game for Ohio State? Complete coverage of all today's action involving Ohio sports on FoxSportsOhio.com. Brett Wallace was called out on strikes his first time up. And he fouls that one off. Wallace, another California product. Northern California guy, born in Marin, makes his home in Sonoma. Played college baseball right down the road from you at Arizona State. They've produced a few players over the years.
I would think so.
1-1 to count. Swung on and missed. Tied him up nicely with that fastball.
Yes, he did. Boy, it's nice. When you see him pitching inside, he's using the whole plate. Now the hitters have to protect 17 inches. That one was in off the plate. And you get that swing and miss. He can go one of 2 ways. He can go back in there again with that same pitch. He could throw something, a breaking ball back door. Looked like he wanted a fastball, took it off. Now he's going to wait.
Two balls and 2 strikes.
That's what I thought he was doing. When you go in there on a guy and he swings at a pitch off the plate, You figure he may have to be looking in there again for the second time, so you give him that little backdoor breaking ball, but he missed with it. Idea was right.
Now the 2-2. Swung on and missed. He got him. And now 7 strikeouts for Ubaldo. The Astros get their leadoff man at second base, but can't advance him. And it's still a 1-1 game, middle of the 4th.
Playoff tickets will go on sale to the public on Monday, and you certainly do not want to be left out of postseason action right here at Progressive Field. Log on to Indians.com postseason, and you will get more information. Winding down. 10 games to go. That includes tonight's ball game. There'll be 5 more after tonight here at Progressive Field. We end up with 4 in Minnesota. And it's unbelievable what the 2013 regular season will be coming to an end a week from Sunday.
Every game figures to be incredibly important. Texas, Tampa Bay, they're tied 2-2 now down in St. Pete. That looks like...
You know, all the scoreboard watching is coming from this American League wild card, you know, because the National League's pretty much set.
You just don't know who's going to fall where, but it's those
Correct.
3 teams are pretty much all in.
You would think so. But, you have 6 teams that have an opportunity here in the American League.
All it takes is one bad series. Somebody slips on a banana peel, and it could shake the whole thing up.
Or one team to get hot and run the table.
Santana pops one up, foul ground. Is it playable? Dominguez reaches over, but yeah, he did catch it.
Wow, he had enough glove to get there.
One away.
I'll tell you, I thought it went off the end of his glove, but he got over there. See, he takes one peek. He's at the railing. He feels it there, and he's able to take it away from the camera. And, Katie, you should have been in there punching him in the stomach. Where is she?
Now that's not good sportsmanship.
Yes, get in there. Come on, that's home field advantage.
I did stick my leg out in protection.
Well, excuse me. Do you have your pumps on today? You should have kicked them.
I do, yes.
Well, let's go. Home field advantage.
You know, I hadn't thought about that, but if you go into the stands, you're fair game.
Yeah.
If you go into the photo well, same rules apply.
She could have went down low. He was coming in over the top. She could have got a shin.
Might have been ejected, but hey, sometimes you got to take one for the team.
Nothing wrong with that. She would have got a standing O.
It's inside. It's 2-1. Yan Gomes, a 2-1 count. Slowly chopped right back up the middle. It's through. And a one-out single here in the fourth for the Tribe. Let's send you back to the Hyundai Studios right now for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
Well, Matt and Rick, once again, the Red Sox out to an early lead tonight over the Baltimore Orioles. Stephen drew his 13th home run here in the second inning. Red Sox scored all three in the second. They lead it 3-0. It's now the fourth at Fenway Park. Matt?
And Texas has now gone ahead of Tampa Bay 3-2 in their game. As you take a look at the updated standings.
Yeah, if Texas can beat them tonight and the Indians win, then they still remain a half a game of the top two, Texas and Tampa. They're ending a 4-game series.
To second for one, on to first, not in time. The throw is a one-hopper to Carter at first base.
Well, this ball was, way out in front on that changeup. Dominguez gets it over there. And look at little Altuve get over there and jumps out of the way. He turned it as quickly as possible. Just wasn't hit hard enough to turn. But a nice turn anyway.
Little tapper foul. Ball gets away, and down to second base goes Cabrera.
Good hustle. That's what you want to do. That ball, that's something that if you're paying attention, you look for it with 2 strikes. He's got to get a new belt, which is okay. Who was it who was breaking belts by the dozen last year?
It was
Again
him.
last year?
Yeah.
You see, he was off and running as soon as that ball went into the dirt, and that's the decision you have to make early. If that ball is going to deflect, but if your head's up and you pay attention to it, you can take that extra base, and that's a big base right now with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Go as a wild pitch.
He called it off, waved it off. Belt's okay.
Okay, he gave it the Tom Bochenik wave off.
Waved it off. Just needed a little re-hitch. 2-2. Michael Brantley trying to get his groove back against left-handed pitching. He had swung the bat very well all season long against both right-handers and lefties. But the lefties have gotten the better of him of late. Right back to him. And Keuchel with the flip. The inning is over. 4 complete. We're still deadlocked at 1. the wireless receiver only from AT&T Uverse. Rethink possible. And by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. 1-1 our score as we go now to the 5th inning. LJ Hose drove in the only run of the night for Houston with a sac fly in the 2nd. And he takes the first pitch strike. Including tonight in his last 6 starts now, Ubaldo has struck out 49 batters and walked 6. In the dirt. 60 pitches now on the night. 40 of them have been strikes for Ubaldo. And this former Orioles farmhand looks like he can handle the bat pretty well.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's had 2 pretty good approaches tonight. He drove in their first run with a sacrifice fly, and I like that swing there.
Injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk. Serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Told you before, Jason Castro had a cyst removed today from his right knee. They say all is well. He'll be good to go next year, but he'll miss the final 11 games this year. Alex White, former Indians pitcher, he was going to be in their starting rotation. At least the thoughts in spring training were, hey, this guy's going to be part of the club, probably be in the starting rotation. But he blew out that arm and needed the surgery.
So now he'll be out for another half a year at least, if not a
know,
whole year.
You don't know when he'll be ready to come back in. Ideally, you'd probably look at, April he'd be rehabbing, rehab games, and maybe by May or June back in the big leagues. But who knows between now and then where the Astros will be going. They've got some decent-looking young pitchers already with their club that they're getting a look at here in September. What will they do in the offseason? Here's Cody Clark. He had the curious bunt play with runners at first and third and 2 down that ended the 2nd inning. Throw to first. Almost threw it away. Nice job by Nick Swisher to flag it down. Former Indian Dave Clark coaching at first base for the Astros. They're trying to make sure LJ doesn't take off over there at first base for Houston. Has 7 steals. Back out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, there's not much you can give a guy now in a 1-2 count. Put it in play.
Popped back out of play. Cody Clark, 31-year-old career minor leaguer. This is his 11th season of professional baseball. Originally an 11th round pick of the Texas Rangers. a decade ago. He's been with the Rangers, Braves, Royals, and now Astros organizations. Made his debut in the big leagues August 23rd this year. And the 2-2. Up and away at full count. Runner goes. Pitch hit towards second. And Kipnis will throw out Cody Clark, but L.J. HOU stays out of the double play. And he's in the scoring position. Let's go downstairs and check in once again with Katie Witham, who has news on the Indians' injury front.
Yeah, Matt, typically we'd see Ryan Rayburn in this lineup here tonight facing a lefty, but he told me in the clubhouse today that yesterday on this play in Kansas City yesterday when he ran into the wall, he hurt that Achilles tendon even more. He was actually limping off the field yesterday pretty bad. He's listed as day-to-day right now. He says it's not as bad as what it originally was, but they've got to take it day by day right now. He does hope to be in the lineup tomorrow.
That's tough news because he's been so good against left-handed pitching this year for the Indians. 319 average against southpaws, and they're going to see 3 of them in this series. Jonathan Villar, he has struck out both times tonight, both of them on called third strikes. Swing and a miss, throw back to second base. Oh, it was very close. They almost had him, as Gomes made a very good throw down to the bag, and Terry Francona is going to come out and tell Jordan Baker what he thinks of that call.
Well, Cabrera got pretty emotional right there, and a lot of times, you know, he wouldn't get as animated if he didn't think he had him. So I think right now Francona just wants an explanation. Nothing wrong. This is the young guy in this rotation. He's just telling them, they had him. Let's see. It was a very quick snap throw right on the money. And it's hard to tell there. He gets his arm, it slides up, and it looks like Cabrera tags him on the shoulder.
It's very,
it's
close.
Awfully close. It sure is. We got timeout now because he busted his belt. So it's belt Thursday here. Cabrera did it to him. Going in head first on that wild pitch. And he goes back in. It's time for new belts.
So runner at second with 1 out. And VR with a 1-1 count. Ball's in the dirt. Gomes pounces on it. Throw to third. Got him this time. No doubt about it. 2 down.
Well, when you're in scoring position and you see that ball in the dirt, you have to make sure you're going to get there. And it did not get that far away from Gomes. And he took a peek up to see if he was running. And when he realized he was licking his chops because he said plenty of time. And he throws him out.
It's a hustle play. The play's in front of him. It's fouled out of play. But Bo Porter's had this same issue with the guy at the plate, Jonathan Villar, who has great aggressiveness. But again, it goes back to knowing the situation, when you can be aggressive, when you can't. And he's had to pull him aside at times and say,
you're in scoring position right there. Now, you got to be 100% sure you're going to make it. It's a 1-1 game. And you're at the top of the lineup, and it's, going through it for the third time. So just make sure it's far enough away before you go. He did, and he's thrown out, and that's what you know what? You don't take aggressiveness away from young players. You just have to harness them.
Well, the loudest ovation of the night so far is for whoever caught that foul ball.
There's a strike.
Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. VR caught looking for the third time tonight. For that lady right there in the middle, she made the catch. Watch this on the foul ball. This is a bullet now into the crowd. Bang!
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
Look at that reaction. Is that priceless?
I'll tell you what, her phone is going to blow up right now.
Outstanding.
Look at that. What a great catch.
Sign her up.
Give that fan a contract.
Absolutely. I'm guessing that's not the first time she's caught a baseball before.
Well, it may have caught her, but that was a fine play.
Mike Aviles lined out the short his first time up. Indians have had a hit in every inning tonight, but just one run so far against Dallas Keuchel. One and two the count.
Yep. Yes, he
went
did.
too far. And that's strikeout number 5 for the Houston left-hander. One down here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, he certainly did go. I mean, he's going to be upset, but he went too far.
Drew Stubbs struck out his first time up. And a bouncer to short. VR throws him out. 2 away. Our in-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Bottom of the first, Jason Kipnis with an RBI single that brought home Nick Swisher and made it 1-0 Cleveland. Top of the second, bases loaded, And L.J. Hose with a sacrifice fly to right field to bring home Houston's only run. And that is it to this point. Michael Bourne 0 for 2 on the night. I still think he caught a bad break to lead off the third inning. He hit a ball that replay looked like it caught some chalk. And that would have been, if not a single, probably a double.
Oh, it would have been a double. The way Bourne runs, no doubt.
1-1 to count. One ball, 2 strikes here with 2 down in the 5th inning. Bourne appears to be really pulling off in his at-bats so far here tonight. He does it again. The inning is over. That's a half dozen strikeouts for the left-hander Dallas Keuchel. 1-1 through 5.
This 4-game series continues. It'll be Dollar Dog Night, and you can also get 12-ounce beers for $4. Log on to Indians.com for your tickets.
Well, both starters have been very good here tonight. Ubaldo Jimenez has struck out 8 Astros. He's allowed just the 1 run. Dallas Keuchel has struck out a half dozen Indians, and he's given up just 1 run. Jose Altuve, Trevor Crowe, and Mark Krause for the Astros here in the 6th. To first base, Nick Swisher has it, 1 down. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios again. Here's Al with an update.
All right, Matt, a rough 3rd inning for Matt Moore down in St. Petersburg. The Rays starter tonight gave up 3 solo home runs. Moreland, Andrus, and then a deep drive that made it out by Alex Rios. That's made the difference so far. Texas leads Tampa. It's 4-2. They're in the 4th inning. Matt?
All right, so Texas has the lead in that ball game, and should that hold up, then even if the Indians win tonight, they'd still stay a half game back.
Right? They would be tied, both of them. They had that 4-game series, and right now it's Tampa 2-1. Texas trying to pull it even, and then Texas goes into Kansas City for the weekend. And I'm trying to see where
Tampa has a rugged schedule the rest of the way.
Yeah, they do.
They've got Baltimore, the Yankees, and Boston, I think, still on the docket. In the air to center field, Michael Bourne backpedaling. 2 down.
Baltimore goes into Tampa tomorrow night. As a matter of fact, you look at that schedule. After that game with Texas, it's Baltimore for 4. At New York, at Toronto.
At Toronto, yeah. Okay.
So you end it on the road. You've got 4 more with the guys that are trying to catch you as well. So that's they're going to have to really strap it up and play tough baseball, and they haven't been scoring a whole lot either.
Texas, I think, has a season-ending series with the Angels. Not sure. And the Angels haven't been playing all that badly.
No, they haven't.
And they still have Mike Trout, who's a dangerous hitter, and Josh Hamilton. When he
hit a 2-run homer yesterday to tie the game up in the ninth.
Yeah. So, I mean, they could pose a threat.
Anybody poses a threat when you come down to it. You have to play good baseball if you want to get in.
1-on-1 account here. Very efficient here tonight for Jimenez. The only inning where he really had to make a lot of pitches was in that second, and that just kind of, in one regard, a bad break. Couple of bloop hits fell in on him.
Well, he went 8 1/3 in his last start, and he threw 105 pitches, 73 strikes. But that's what this allows him to do. His aggressiveness lets him go deeper into the game. We always felt like, man, you could chalk it up. He'd go 5 innings. He'd be at 100 pitches no matter what, how well he pitched or not. But, boy, in the second half, he has been so tidy. You know, he hasn't messed around a whole lot. He's gone at hitters.
And the 2-2 hit hard but foul. Little dribbler to the mound. The old Baldo will flip it to first. The Astros go 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Still tied at 1.
Well, you don't want to miss a special fireworks show after the Astros game on Saturday night. It's courtesy of Nick Swisher. You can celebrate a great season with the Cleveland Indians, and it's a Cleveland and Ohio-themed display. And songs by Michael Stanley and the Ohio State Band and more. So log on to Indians.com for your tickets.
And Nick Swisher will lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. He's already 2 for 2 tonight. He has doubled and he has singled. He's extended his hitting streak to 9 games. Pitches up high, ball 1. That's in for a strike to even the count. Nick is batting .290 now in the month of September. There's a base hit into left field. He's a perfect 3 for 3 on the night. And the Indians have their leadoff man aboard.
High breaking ball. He hit a high changeup. I think he got a fastball, and now he's hit every pitch that Keuchel throws. And all gone for hits.
He has half of the Indians' hits by himself tonight. Jason Kipnis will be the batter. Kipnis drove in a run with a base hit in the 1st inning. Banged into a double play back in the 3rd. Showed bunt, pulled it back, and it's low from ball 1. Double play ball right at the second baseman. And that takes care of that. Second time the Indians have banged into a double play tonight, and both times it's been off the bat of Jason Kipnis. So 2 down here in the 6th. And we'll get the answer now to the AT&T trivia question. 4 players in the big leagues have hit 8 or more homers in 5 consecutive games.
Well, I know Frank Howard's one. And Sean Green, Manny Ramirez, Josh Hamilton. That's right. Hamilton hit 4 in 1 game there. Okay, good question. I forgot Sean Green.
Here's Carlos Santana. He takes ball 1. Santana has flied out and fouled out tonight. Blistered down the left field line. It is a foul ball. Boy, he absolutely mashed this baby.
Yeah, but you're going to see it hook and hook and hook. Got to the porch. Definitely had the distance if it was fair.
Game hitting streak for Santana snapped last night. Down in the dirt, 3-1. Jan Gomes waits on deck. Got a pretty good chance of getting to the plate here because Santana has walked 87 times this year. Only Mike Trout has drawn more walks in the league. Ball 4. Make it 88. How did Brian Hoyer get the starting quarterback job for the Browns? Find out from the man who made the decision on Browns Insider with Chud tonight after Indians Live on the cable home of the Browns, Sports Time Ohio. We're happy for Brian Hoyer because we both know his proud papa, Axel.
Yes, we do.
Fantasy camp veteran. Yan Gomes, 1 out of 2 on the night. He singled back in the 4th inning. And he looks at a strike here. Boy, Texas is pulling away from Tampa. They now lead at 6-2. Here we are deadlocked 1-1 in the bottom of the 6th. And to this point, how evenly played has this game been? Each team 1 run, 6 hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. Now it's 1-2. Dallas Keuchel, 93 pitches on the night. Seventh round pick of the Astros in 09 out of the University of Arkansas. Two balls, 2 strikes with Santana at first base. And that's up high, full count.
Well, now at least he'll be off and running here. We'll see if Gomes gets a strike.
Bo Porter looking over the matchups. As Dribble Cabrera would be next. Santana draws a little lob toss.
Well, that's one thing that Santana's he's gonna make sure you're gonna throw the ball home. He's not like a base stealer that you want to take a chance to throw over there. He's only got about a 3-foot lead, and he's just gonna run when he sees the ball out of your hand.
And the payoff pitch is hit foul out of play to the right. Four-game series opener here tonight between the Indians and Astros, and so far a doozy 1-1 score, bottom of the 6th. Santana will be moving on the 3-2 pitch. And a foul by Gomes to stay alive. Keuchel has pitched very well. You know, we talked about it earlier. I mentioned it in the open last year. Down in Houston, he pitched a complete game against the Indians and gave up just 1 run.
Yeah.
So you know he's got the ability. 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Another strikeout. The inning is over. We've played 6, still tied at 1. 9 locations in Northeast Ohio. And by Levin. Beautiful night here at the Yard as you look in at Progressive Field from our Panini Cam, brought to you by Panini's Bar and Grill. 1-1 as we go to the 7th. Matt Dominguez, Chris Carter, and Brett Wallace. Dominguez singled in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. Ubaldo has retired 5 in a row and 8 out of the last 9 Houston batters. Good breaking ball, and that's in for a strike, 2-1. Ripped down the line, but foul. Big curveball chopped to third. Mike Aviles from the cut of the grass. Low throw and Swisher. What a pick. Oh, he dug it out of there nicely. And that's out number 1 here in the 7th.
Well, he'll get a big thank you from Aviles after that throw. He had plenty of time, and he just tried to throw a little too hard, but that was a nice scoop right there by Swisher. He's looking over there, and I'm sure Aviles said thank you. Look at him. Hey, he's calling over to him. Hey, brother, get it up. Hey, bro, get it higher.
Bro, higher.
Bro, hi-oh.
Here's Chris Carter, 1 for 2. And a fastball strike. Chris Carter, originally a 15th round pick of the Chicago White Sox back in 05. Went to the Diamondbacks for Carlos Quentin in 07. But he never really got a chance to settle in. A week after he was traded by Chicago to the Diamondbacks, they turned around and spun him to Oakland. That was part of that Dan Herron trade.
Yeah, I remember him out in Oakland. Never really had a big chance out there.
Hit in the air to center off the end of the bat. Long run for Kipnis, who makes the catch. Look at how far he went out to get that ball. That's a terrific effort by Jason Kipnis. 2 down.
All right, starting on the grass, and you can see him going his back. He doesn't hear anything, and certainly Bourne wasn't going to get there, so Kipnis had to go a long way to catch it, and he does.
And with 2 down, Brett Wallace, the batter. Curveball in there for a strike. Close pitch, a little bit up and in, 1 ball, 1 strike. Cody Allen just now getting loose as Ubaldo Jimenez closes in on 100 pitches for the night. Two down here in the 7th inning. And the 1-2 pitch. A little bit inside to even it up. Brett Wallace was called out on strikes in the 2nd inning. He went down swinging in the 4th. Now they're on the same page in the 2-2 pitch. Swung out and missed. His 9th strikeout of the night. Ubaldo Jimenez going strong once again here this evening. 9 punch-outs, and he's retired the last 8 Houston batters in a row. Time now for the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. Life is hard. Buying a car shouldn't be. It would appear Ubaldo Jimenez's night is over. Gets a handshake from pitching coach Mickey Callaway. 7 innings, 6 hits, allowed just 1 run, struck out 9, didn't walk a batter. Another very, very good outing. Look at his last 4 starts, an ERA of 0.64. Problem tonight is the Indians haven't been able to solve Dallas Keuchel, save the 1 run they scored in the 1st inning. They've had a hit in every inning but 1. Popped in the air. Trevor Crowe looked like he had a little trouble with that, but makes the catch.
No kidding.
As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Well, again, in command of everything he's out there featuring. The fastball, the breaking ball, the changeups, the splitters, getting ahead in the count. What do you have? 64 strikes on 98 pitches and 9 strikeouts again, and just he didn't walk anybody again.
Zippo.
There you go. How many times is that? That's about, 3 out of the last 4 where he hasn't walked anybody. He had double-digit strikeouts, 2 out of 3. Then he walked 1, and now he comes back with his last start he had 8 strikeouts, only 1 walk. So 3 out of his last 6.
3 out of his last 5 starts.
Okay.
No walks.
Beautiful. Well, whatever is working for him is he's got it. He's got a feel for it, and he's got it under control.
Here's Michael Brantley. Brantley, all season long, was a tremendous hitter from, regardless of who was pitching, left-handed or right-handed. His splits were very, very even. But since August 11th, just 5 for 29 against left-handed pitching. And he singles into center field right here. Not away. A one-out base runner now here in the 7th inning. His batting average was .274 against lefties, but going into that at-bat, it had dropped down to .253.
He left that curveball in, too much of the plate.
And that might not be because it's lefties. It just might be he hasn't been swinging the bat all that well of late, regardless of whether it's lefties or righties.
Well, we've been seeing a lot of
lefties lately, absolutely.
You know, and I think he had a day off in Chicago, if I recall, when they faced Sale. He didn't play. But you know what? Yeah, there's going to be times it doesn't matter, lefties or righties, you're not going to swing the bat well. And I think that's you're right, one of the times he's going through right now.
Well, he's aboard here representing the go-ahead run as Mike Aviles steps in. And Aviles trying to snap out of an 0 for 20. He has lined out, struck out so far tonight. Activity in the Houston bullpen. Dallas Keuchel just over 100 pitches on the night.
Yeah, they haven't been able to get a hit. Just one hit with a guy on base. That's back in the 1st inning when Kipnis drove in Swisher for their only run.
1-1 the count. Josh Zeid is getting loose for Houston. Joe Smith up in the Tribe bullpen. Aviles broke his bat, blooped towards center, but hangs up for Trevor Crow. 2 down. And that will bring up Drew Stubbs. Drew Stubbs has struck out and grounded out tonight.
I always feel if you're going to throw a ball, why throw it to first base if you're going to throw it like that? That absolutely does nothing.
You have more chance to throw it away by throwing it like that, where you just kind of flip it over there.
Ever catching a runner coming off. You're right, you do. That's a waste of time.
1 ball, 1 strike. And that pitch outside. The count is 2-1. Outside with it, 3 balls and a strike. Dallas Keuchel has pitched so well that Bo Porter is giving him a chance to try to get through this inning. Former Indian Eduardo Perez to the right of Bo Porter. 3-1 pitch. Slowly tapped to second, and the inning is over. 7 in the book, still tied at 1. Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. One our scores. We go to the 8th inning. Tomorrow night, Sports Time Ohio is on the road to glory in Akron. An epic showdown between Cardinal Mooney and St. Vincent St. Mary. The Irish, the number 1 ranked team in Division III, the defending state champions, and it's become a very good rivalry. Cardinal Mooney was one of 2 teams to beat the Irish last season on their way to the Division III state championship. Joe Smith on for the 66th time this year. Today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. He'll be facing L.J. Hose, Cody Clark, and Jonathan VR here in the 8th inning.
Well, Ubaldo, another good start in the second half, but the offense couldn't do anything. They gave him 1 run in the first inning, and that was it. Houston able to come back. They put 1 on the board in the second, and it's been zeros since that point. So you're going to see now this will be a battle of the bullpens. Keuchel, another good start against the Indians.
L.J. Hose, swing and a miss at the first offering from Joe Smith. L.J. was a 3rd-round pick of the Orioles back in 2008. High school player out of D.C. area. Slowly tapped, but that's going to go foul.
Well, they got another lefty in that bullpen. Kevin Chapman getting ready to get loose.
Swung a little bit low with that pitch, and it's 2-2. Another foul by Hose. LJ says his dad was a big influence in his life as a youngster. His dad played high school football and then played college football at Fairmont State in West Virginia and had a tryout in the NFL with the Atlanta Falcons, but ultimately was cut. Up and away, just missed, full count. Broke his bat right back to Joe Smith, who will flip it over to first, 1 away. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios again. Here's Al.
All right, Matt, the Toronto Blue Jays once again trying to get to the Yankees tonight after Granderson homer to the top of the 6th inning. In the bottom of the 6th, Anthony Gose, his 2nd home run of the season. He's 3 for 3 tonight. That put the Blue Jays back ahead by 2. They're up 3-1, bottom of the 7th inning in Canada, Matt.
All right, thanks, Al. There you get a look at where everybody stands at the moment in this wild card race. And a hard hit ground ball and in the left field for Cody Clark. Just his 2nd hit in 32 major league at bats. So Cody Clark is aboard with 1 out here in the 8th inning. Adam Lynn just went deep for Toronto, and the Blue Jays now lead the Yankees 6-1 in the 7th inning. It's going to be a one hopper to short. Cabrera goes to Kipnis. There's one, but they won't be able to turn two. Ball looked like it was hit in slow motion, didn't it?
Well, it had a lot of spin to it.
Jonathan Villar's is happy to put a ball in play. He was called out on strikes in each of his first 3 trips tonight.
Well, he's just happy to see anybody but Ubaldo. And that was just a slider right there, and it jammed him, and it had such that spin. You see, it almost went back the other way on Cabrera. So you're not going to turn that one. Just the ball wasn't hit hard enough, but they do get the second out.
And with 2 down, Jose Altuve, the batter, 1 for 3 on the night.
And this is where you may see him try and get aggressive and try and steal a base with 2 outs and Altuve at the plate.
Altuve was thrown out trying to steal back in the 3rd inning. But I mentioned before, Villar with 17 steals. Swing and a miss. The Astros list Jose Altuve at 5 feet 5 inches tall. He tries to bunt right in front of the plate. Gomes an easy play, and the side is retired. We'll go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Deadlocked at 1.
Well, you might want to bring the whole family out for the final Kids Fun Day here of the regular season. That'll take place Sunday. Plenty of activities for the kids, and they get to run the bases. It's presented by Cleveland Clinic after the game, so go to Indians.com for your tickets.
Today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. Left-hander Kevin Chapman coming on now for the Astros.
They stay with the left-handed variety. Dallas Keuchel pitched a nice game for Houston. 7 innings, 7 hits. Gave up the 1 run. He walked 1, struck out 7.
This is kind of an odd number. Chapman in 20 appearances has walked 12, struck out 10. But an ERA of just 2.12, so I'm not sure how many guys he's walked and then taken out of the game, and it's been somebody else's inherited runner and they haven't scored. Usually you walk more than you strike out. Doesn't equate to a good ERA.
Well, yeah, you're right, especially coming out of the bullpen. Usually you want those guys pounding the strike zone, and you're in a game now, so I know Bo Porter doesn't want to see any walks, that's for sure.
Well, he set a franchise record by not allowing an earned run in his first 13 major league appearances. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he is yet to allow a run in 10 appearances on the road. And a strikeout of Michael Bourne. That's 3 strikeouts for Bourne tonight. In-game box score brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers. Nick Swisher's coming up. He's 3 for 3 on the night, but he has 3 of the Indians' 7 hits, all out of that 2-hole tonight. Double and a couple of singles. Kipnis drove him home with an RBI hit in the first inning. Other than that, there's nothing going on for the Tribe offensively here this evening. One ball, 1 strike. Swisher taking, it's a strike, and it's 1-2. Swisher with his 4th hit of the night. He's 4 for 4 with a solid stroke to left field. And the Indians have the go-ahead run aboard with 1 out in the 8th inning.
Well, let's take a look at his night, and it has been a good one. Started off with a double back in the first, then in the third he's going to get a base hit. And he's going to get a hanging breaking ball. That's hit number 3. And how about hit number 4? I mean, he has had a great night there. You'll see it, a fastball in the left field. 4 for 4 for Nick Swisher.
It's his second 4-hit night of the season. Care to guess who he did it against earlier this year?
I'm going to guess Chris Sale.
Houston Astros.
Did he really? Okay.
He likes that big orange star.
Well, yeah, but he's going to need another teammate to help him out if they're not home runs, because he has 4 of the 8 hits.
Kipnis drove him home back in the first inning. And that almost went to the backstop. 1-1 to count. Kipnis with a fly ball to right field. HOU's coming in. He has to play it on a bounce. And Swisher is at second base. Maybe you've got a different read on this than me. Hard to fault Swisher there because I thought HOU was going to catch it myself.
No, you can't. No, it's not Swisher's fault. These guys, I was just talking to Murph saying they're playing so deep that they're giving you anything in front. I don't know if it's this is their no doubles defense, but you see where he started? You can't really go on that. You got to go halfway and make sure. So you just move up the base. But I'll tell you what, for me, that defense is way too deep. Swisher's coming out of the ball game now for a pinch runner.
That's the go-ahead run at second base, and it's now Jose Ramirez. Two on, 1 out. Carlos Santana will be the batter. Santana 0 for 2. He has flied out, fouled out, walked his last time up. And Santana throws those arms up, but that pitch was right there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Chapman delivers another one right there, and it's 0-2. Left-hander Kevin Chapman with 2 on and 1 out here in the 8th in a 1-1 ball game. Pop back out of play. Terry Francona inserting a pinch runner for Nick Swisher at second base. Jose Ramirez. He carries the go-ahead run with him. The 0-2, way outside. That outfield for the Astros not nearly as deep as they were earlier in the inning.
That's what I can't figure out. I mean, they were so deep when Kipnis was at the plate. Now Santana comes up and they move in.
And he strikes out, fooled badly. 2 down. Both outs in the inning via the strikeout. And that's going to leave it up to Yan Gomes.
Throws a good breaking ball there. Was for a ball. It looked like a strike, and he chases after it, swings over the top, 2 outs. He struck out 2, and he's given up 2 singles.
Yan Gomes is 1 for 3 on the night. He struck out in the first, singled in the 4th, and then struck out in the 6th. And that's 9 strikeouts tonight for Indians hitters. So each team has struck out 9 times on the night. And you mentioned before, the Astros, if they average roughly 10 strikeouts a game the rest of the way, they'll eclipse that all-time record for strikeouts in a single season. Gomes trying to deliver here in the clutch. Takes a strike. Gomes has batted .269 on the year with runners in scoring position in 2 outs. In the dirt. And a good block by Cody Clark. (1-1) is our score. Tribe scored their run on the bottom of the first. Houston scored their run in the top of the second. Since then, neither team has been able to generate even a scoring opportunity until this 8th inning for Cleveland. They've got a chance, but now Gomes is down to the count of 1-2. You think about how many times the Indians have come up with a big 2-out RBI hit this year or scored a run with 2 outs. Tonight, they don't have a hit. They're 0 for 6 with 2 outs. Make it 0 for 7. And the inning is over. Soon, 1-1 here in the 9th inning. That's a beaut, isn't it?
Yes, I didn't know if we'd see it tonight. We came here, it was so cloudy.
I don't think that's here. I think they stole that from another region.
No, they might have. Pat's been known to do that. Well, if that's here, wherever it may be, I like it.
Indians Live coming up next, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. 9th inning. Chris Perez will come on in a tie game. Try to keep it that way. Give the Indians a chance to win it in the bottom of the ninth. For Houston, Trevor Crowe, Mark Krause, and Matt Dominguez will be the batters. And Terry Francona has decided to put Carlos Santana in at first base, which means the Indians do not have a DH, but Chris Perez is in the 2 spot, so effectively he'd be the pitcher spot won't come up until 8th now. So here we go in the 9th. Trevor Crowe leading off, takes a strike. Crowe is 0 for 3 tonight. Out of play. Upstairs with it, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mark Krause waits on deck. Breaking ball, got him looking.
Get that slider, backdoor variety. See it come back in. Nice little frame job there by Gomes. Crowe takes it. He'll go down for the 3rd time tonight. Out number 1 in the 9th. And
up comes Mark Krause, who is 2 for 3 on the night. He singled and scored Houston's only run in the second. He doubled back in the fourth. Inside ball one. This kid Krause was a heck of a high school football player at Patrick Henry High. How about 46 receiving touchdowns and almost 3,500 receiving yards in his high school career? High pop, foul, out of play. Krause, while he was a Bobcat at Ohio University, set the school's single-season home run record with 27 dingers.
He's got that typical left-handed swing. It has a slight uppercut. He doesn't overswing. He's got a nice swing right there.
That is driven deep to left field, off the wall. Brantley plays it well. Here's the throw, but not in time as Krause hustles in with a double, his third hit of the night.
I'll tell you, he has a very nice-looking swing. Doubled off the right field wall. Good. Now doubles off left center field wall. And that's coming off a breaking ball trying to go away. That same pitch he was able to retire Crow on. He kept his hands back, had that little hesitation, and drilled it the other way. Good swing. So a one-out double now.
Krause came into this game batting $193. He does not look like a 193 hitter. Pinch runner Jimmy Paredes is in for Krause now here in the ninth. Check foul.
That might have been off, you know what, off his hand, and it hit the. Now wait, he's saying it hit him. I thought the bat was part of his hand.
And they're going to say he didn't swing at that? They went to the first base umpire Todd Tishner and appealed. Tishner said he didn't swing. It sure looked like he swung.
Well, he went right out. Scott did and started talking to Perez. I thought he did. That's why he hit it. But
not to mention, did you hear it? It hit the bat.
Well, it did. Let's see what they're explaining it right now. And if that was all fingers, I'll tell you what, he could have a broken bone in that hand. First pitch, it's going to start running in. Oh, it did hit him. No, that's a good call. He didn't swing the bat.
Okay.
He did not. It hit his hand, and it deflected off, and it sounded like it hit the bat, though, I'll tell you that. You think it hit the bat?
That's what I'm thinking.
The nub of the bat?
Hard to tell on that look right there. Maybe we'll get a better angle on it.
Look at that, caught him right on that
I think it hit
part
the knob
of the hand.
It just, the sound of it sounded like it hit bat.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it hit any part of the bat, it had to be the knob. And that was part of his hand right there. And that's the part they're looking at. We got to see how he holds his bat. It did sound like it hit the bat to me. No question. It looks like they're going to get somebody else to come in and run for him.
Yeah, I think they're trying to talk him out of it. He wants to stay in.
Well, the trainer may want some X-rays. That's what he's thinking. And he's talking his way to try and stay in this game. Let's see. Take a look. Does it get the knob? It's hard to see.
Right off. I don't know.
Now, it's a dark bat. No. That went off the hand. Look at him. You look at his expression. His facial expression will tell you. You can't fake that.
Well, one thing's for certain. The Astros are in business. They've got 2 on and 1 out.
He stayed in, didn't he?
Yeah, he stayed, talked his way into it. Chris Carter's coming up 1 for 3 on the night. Ooh, nice grab by Yan Gomes. Downstairs 2-0. Tied him up, good fastball, and it's 2-1. At the knees, a fastball for a strike, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on the big right-handed power hitter for Houston. 27 dingers on the year for Carter. 27 homers, 24 doubles. And the 2-2 pitch. A little bit outside on a full count. So Carter showing good discipline to not chase after it. Mentioned the Astros. They've struck out 10 times as a team. But here's a guy who struck out over 200 times on the year and hasn't struck out yet tonight. Now the payoff pitch. And he walked him. The bases are loaded.
Well, he was patient enough, and he took that 2 fastballs when they got to 2-2. He took them both. They were off the dish. Bases loaded now. And out comes Mickey Callaway. He wants to talk to Perez. Brett Wallace going to be the hitter.
Brett Wallace is 0 for 3 on the night and has struck out all 3 times up. But he can make amends for all of that with 1 swing of the bat now. Perez has nowhere to put him after giving up the double to Krause. He hit Dominguez and walked Carter. Now we're going to get a pinch runner. He may have talked his way into the game for a bit, but that's...
He talked his way in to stay at first, but he's not going to talk his way in to stay at second. He's out of there.
It is Marwin Gonzalez to pinch run. Ball 1. Out of play. Brett Wallace was a first-round pick of the St. Louis Cardinals back in 2008. But he's been involved in a couple of big trades. He went to the Rockies in exchange for Matt Holliday. And then in a roundabout way, he was also part of the Roy Halladay trade, in which there were multiple players going to multiple teams. He ended up in Toronto. Swing and a miss. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. And then Al was just talking about Anthony Gose in one of his highlights.
Right.
That's who Toronto traded Wallace to Houston for, Anthony Gose. One ball, 2 strikes. Bases loaded, 1 out of the 9th. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And that's 4 punch-outs for Wallace tonight. 2 down in the inning.
Looked like a breaking ball he comes back with. It was. It stayed up out over the plate. He comes up empty. So That's a guy that he's a big swing and miss guy because he had a couple of pitches to hit in that at bat. He goes down for the 4th time tonight.
You know, this guy is a dangerous hitter from what we've seen already tonight. Takes a strike. Hose drove in Houston's only run back in the 2nd with a sacrifice fly. He lined a single to right field in the 5th inning. Joe Smith got him on a comebacker in the 8th. Now with the bases loaded and 2 down on the 9th, the 0-1 is inside. Astros everywhere you look here in the 9th. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled right back. And the count is 1-2. Just 12,607 here tonight, but they're up on their feet, hoping Chris Perez can get them back in the dugout and keep this a tie game. '22nd or 23rd pitch of the inning. Swing and a miss. He got him. The Astros leave him loaded in the 9th. And we stay tied at 1. 9 times this year the Indians have had a walk-off win. Is tonight the night for number 10? We'll find out perhaps next. Indians Live, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. It's coming up next. Josh Zeid is now the 3rd Houston Astros pitcher to work here tonight. Kevin Chapman worked a scoreless 8th, though he did give up 2 hits in the inning. He struck out 3, kind of like Chris Perez in the 9th inning. Marwin Gonzalez stays in the ball game at 3rd base. And LJ Hose goes from right field over to left. And Jimmy Paredes is now your right fielder.
Yeah, and he's checking out with Dale Scott, I guess, where these guys are going to hit. Putting him in the batting order, and they got their bumps, and he gave them to Francona very well. So they're all set now, ready to go.
As Dribble Cabrera will lead it off for the Tribe. Upstairs, ball one. At the knees, outside corner for a strike. Josh Zeid, originally a 10th round pick of the Phillies, out of Tulane back in 09. Back out of play. Zeid came to the Astros in exchange for Hunter Pence at the trading deadline 2 years ago. Down in the dirt. Now the 2-2 to Cabrera. Outside, a full count. Michael Brantley waits next, then Mike Avila's due here in the 9th inning for Cleveland. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. That's 11 strikeouts now for Houston pitchers tonight. Revisiting our keys to the game, courtesy of Akron Children's Hospital. Now the Indians defensively have played a solid game. Ubaldo Jimenez was just dynamite again in the starter's role, but after the Indians got the run in the first inning, they haven't been able to get anything offensively. In fact, since that first inning run, they've only had a runner reach second base twice, and once was via a wild pitch. Just haven't had the opportunities because they can't bunch anything together.
No, they cannot. All 8 singles out of their 9 hits. The only double was Swisher. That was the 1-out double in the first inning. And he's out of the ball game now after he was 4 for 4 because they pinch ran for him back in the 8th inning.
Brantley fouls it out of play. Zeid delivers, and it's up high, 1-2. Down at the feet. Michael dances out of the way, and it's 2-2. Tapper over toward the Astros dugout. Texas continues to lead Tampa Bay, now 7-2 Rangers in the 7th down at St. Petersburg, Florida. Spun him out of the way, full count. So Michael was down on the count early, but he has patiently worked his way back to a 3-2 situation. 3-2 pitch. Just a bit outside, and the Indians have the winning run aboard in the bottom of the ninth.
Well, it comes at him with a 3-2 fastball, and this ball's going to be just off the dish. There it is. That close. I mean, really close. But it's outside.
Mike Aviles 0 for 3 tonight. Flied out his last time up. Jason Giambi, you saw in the on-deck circle now. Upstairs, ball 1. Back out of play, and it's 1-1. There's Giambi. But right now, all eyes on Mike Aviles.
What a time to break that over 21 streak right here with a base hit. And they're playing deep. A nice little base hit to right field will get Brantley to third base easily. Aviles likes the fastball. This guy can get it up there in the mid-90s.
Low, he lays off, 2 balls and a strike. Quick throw to first, but Brantley easily back with a dive. Michael has 15 steals, and he's kind of a sneaky base thief. It's almost as if they...
Well, he doesn't run a lot.
They maybe forget about him from time to time, and he just takes advantage when they do. There he goes. Check swing. And the throw is in time. Brantley is erased. And there are 2 down now here in the ninth.
Well, you see the jump. Not a bad jump, but it was a very nice throw. He gets down there and he gets Brantley right before he gets to the bag. So a caught stealing. And I don't know if that was called a strike or a ball.
It was not.
Okay,
He did not go. 3-1.
3-1.
Aviles draws a walk. Isn't that the way it always goes? So instead of first and second and 1 out, Aviles at first with 2 down, and Jason Giambi will be the batter. Giambi is 2 for 12 as a pinch hitter, and both of his hits have left the yard. Giambi had a pinch hit homer to win a game against Chicago earlier this year.
Yeah, Doug Brocail is going to come out and have a talk with his pitcher. Go over, how they want to try and get him out. They know Giambi can catch up with a heater, but this guy has a good one.
Bottom of the ninth, tied at 1. Oh, 97 miles an hour, and Giambi was right on it, but fouls it back. It's 0-1.
As a pinch hitter, you look for that first fastball you get. Jason did. He let it fly and had a good swing and just fouled it off straight back. Maybe just a little too high in the zone, but he let it go.
Downstairs, 1-1. Jason Giambi has been in these types of situations so many times throughout his career. Driven deep down the right field line. Foul by inches, and Aviles was flying around the bases.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If that was fair, he would have been trying to come home. I'll guarantee you that.
Boy, not by much.
See, I couldn't tell. It hooked. Where it landed, we didn't see it.
Yeah, I saw it foul, but it was very close.
Okay, he went down, hit a little breaking ball. He pulled it, and watch it get down into that corner. And, yeah, definitely. About a foot or so. Maybe two. It was close. And Aviles had to head down, off and running.
So Giambi now down on the count, 1-2. There's the pitch. And another 97-mile-an-hour heater. And Giambi fouling it straight back.
So they want it upstairs. It is. He got a piece. He can still, I'll tell you, at his age, he has a little bat speed left. There's no doubt. And it's not like he's cheating on it either.
Zide, 1-2 pitch. Up high.
Cheating on it either.
Zide, 1-2 pitch. Up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Terry Francona continues to praise the leadership of Jason Giambi. Called the team together before their series in Chicago. They responded well. Been there all season long for each and every one of his teammates. Trying to deliver now in the bottom of the 9th. High pop, shallow right. Altuve back, makes the catch. The inning is over, and we've got extras tonight. Are provided or presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's, feed your wild side. 10th inning here tonight in the opener of this 4-game series, and we're tied 1-1. Cleveland goes back to the bullpen for Cody Allen. And defensively now some changes to tell you about as well. Cody Allen on for the 71st time this year. He's 6-1 with a 2.63 ERA. 80 strikeouts in his 65 innings of work. And defensively now for the Indians, Matt Carson takes over for Drew Stubbs in right field. So Carson will go into the 2 spot. Cody Allen goes into the 9 spot. That's what Terry Francona has to work around now after making the move with his DH. So here we go now, 10th inning. Cody Clark will lead it off. Cody Clark is 1 for 3 on the night.
Extra baseball. The Astros 4-6 in extra innings. The Indians 9-2.
Fastball strike to Clark. Breaking ball, but it missed a little bit low, 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Fair ball down the left field line. Cody Clark, who had 1 hit in his first 29 major league at bats, has now singled and doubled in his last 2 trips here tonight in this game. So he was 1 for his first 31, and now a single and a double. And the leadoff man aboard. Now we'll get a pinch runner for Clark. That's the go-ahead run for the Astros. Jake Elmore will come on and pinch run now for Houston.
Second base for Houston, number 10, Jake Elmore.
Well, that's their 9th hit. That's their 3rd double. And again, they had the double in last inning. But it was a 1-out double. See, they're going to try and get him over and get him in.
Jonathan Villar is 0 for 4 on the night.
Houston had to play a 13-inning game last night. They lost it to Cincinnati.
Throw down to second base, but the throw a little wild, and what a job by Cabrera on the hop. He picks it and slaps the tag right down on Elmore, the pinch runner. Oh, is that going to be a long walk back to the dugout?
How do you go in as a pinch runner and get picked off? I mean, look at, he just goes forward, and the throw is a one-hopper. I mean, it wasn't even close. My goodness, you better not go to the other end.
He looked like a charging bull. He dropped his head so far down. The helmet came flying off. Wow. When you've lost 101 games, those are the things that happen too many times.
I mean, that's where you just shake your head. You've got the leadoff double. You're in extra innings. You're trying to just bunt him over. And this is a guy that struck out 3 times today, so you know he's going to bunt. You let him put the ball down. You're pinch running. That's big for the Indians right there.
Villar Slaps it to first. Nice play by Santana. Taps the bag. 2 down. Well, in the 9th inning, Houston loaded the bases. And Krause double, a hit batter, a walk. And then Wallace struck out swinging, and L.J. Hose went down swinging to end the inning. So the Tribe got out of trouble in the 9th, and after the leadoff double, Jake Elmore, the pinch runner, gets picked off at second. And now Jose Altuve, 1 for 4 on the night. Timeout as they get their defense.
They're trying to move Santana back closer to that first baseline.
Altuve pops one up. Kipnis, the second baseman, is there. We'll go to the bottom of the 10th. Still tied at 1. Doesn't get much more even than that. Each team a run on 9 hits, no errors. Bottom of the 10th inning. Top of the order for Cleveland. Carlos Corcoran now in the ballgame, takes over behind the plate. Josh Zeid, who worked a scoreless 9th, though he walked a couple of guys, stays on to pitch the 10th. Even though he made 24 pitches in that 9th inning.
We got Chisenhall coming out on deck.
Michael Bourne lines it right to second base, 1 down. So Chisenhall is going to bat for Matt Carson.
Right.
Batting for Carson, number 8, Lonnie Chisenhall.
Lonnie Chisenhall. You see there, a 227 average on the year. Eduardo Perez and Bo Porter, they're asking Dale Scott about the lineup. They want to make sure they had the same thing on their card. I don't know. Chisenhall's 1 for 4 as a pinch hitter, and his 1 hit was a home run. Back out of play. After that first pitch fastball, but could not square it up.
That pinch hit home run for Chisholm was down in Atlanta, wasn't he? He pulled it down the line.
Yes.
Came into the game.
And the count quickly 0-2.
Foul back and nailed Carlos Corcoran.
The 0-2. Pulls it foul. You can see Dave Clark in that shot at the end of the Astros dugout. He's working with his outfielders, trying to get those guys where he wants them for each hitter. He's like a traffic cop down there at the end of the dugout. He's still getting guys to move while the pitch is being made.
Well, it's their job to look in where your guy's going to be in that dugout before the pitch is made and get into position. Sometimes you'll move when it's 0-2. You want to, you move a couple of steps to the opposite field.
Well, now we're being told that the lineup was not as we were originally told. So that's why Dale Scott went to Bo Porter. Bo Porter went to him. Now we're being told that Cody Allen, this is Cody Allen's spot in the order. And that's why Chisenhall is pinch hitting. And Carson is still in the game. So they announced it wrong originally, and now we've made that correction. In any event, here's the 2-2 swung on and missed. I mean, they didn't just announce it wrong. That's what they had on the in-house scoreboard as well. So Chisenhall, strikeout victim. 12 strikeouts for Indians hitters here tonight. 2 down in the year. Jason Kipnis is the batter. Kipnis is 2 for 4 on the night. Down low. The count as Jason Kipnis takes aim and now steps away. Pop back out of play, and it's 2-1. 1-1 in the bottom of the 10th. Kipnis with a liner to left field. Hose, dives and makes the catch. The Indians go 1-2-3, and we'll go to the 11th. Still tied at 1. lefty all season long. Jack Links, feed your wild side. The 11th inning here, Progressive Field in a 1-1 ball game. For Houston, 3, 4, and 5 in their order, but it looks a little different than it did earlier in the game because of the maneuvering, the pinch running. Brian Shaw on for the 65th time this year for the Indians, 4-3 at 3.54 ERA, 63 punchouts in 68 2/3 innings. He'll be facing Trevor Crowe, Jimmy Paredes, and Marwin Gonzalez. Paredes came on to run for Krause, who had 3 hits in the ballgame. Gonzalez came on to run for Dominguez, who has hit 20 home runs this year. Trevor Crowe 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Ball 1. There's a strike. That evens the count. And a 1-1 to Crowe is fouled right back. Struck him out again. And the Indians have taken care of Trevor Crowe 4 times via the strikeout tonight. And he's 0 for 5 in the ballgame.
You see that little cutter right down there that he swings at. He goes down now 0 for 5. Can't believe it. They have struck out what, 13 times?
Yep.
13 times as a team.
Indians have struck out 12 times. Jimmy Paredes, who came on as a pinch runner, swing and a miss. A little bit low with a heater. Off-speed pitch, and you can see that ball fouled, and they've got a pretty good chunk of Yan Gomes. Paredes out of the Dominican Republic, originally signed by the New York Yankees. He came to the Astros in exchange for Lance Berkman. High chopper off the plate. Kipnis hurries, gets it, throws. God, what a play by Jason Kipnis. Because if he lays back at all, he doesn't make the play on Paredes. With his speed, his hard-charging, go-get-it style was able to erase Paredes for out number 2.
Well, look how high it goes right off the plate, and that was his only chance. He was able to catch it right around the knees and get rid of it in a hurry, and it was done nicely. Gets him by a half a step at first base for out number 2. It's good play.
Marwin Gonzalez gets his first at bat of the night. Gets it on the ground to first. Santana on the big hop. A 9-pitch inning for Brian Shaw. He sets him down 1, 2, 3. Go to the bottom of the 11th, tied at 1. One bottom of the 11th inning as Reiner Cruz comes on now for the Houston Astros. Cruz making his 17th appearance, 0-1 with a 3.44 ERA. Pitched 2 scoreless innings Tuesday night against the Reds in Cincinnati, or down in Houston against Cincinnati. So a guy that they can use for multiple innings. He's gone 2 innings on 2 separate occasions since getting called up on September the 7th from AAA Oklahoma City. He made the ball club out of spring training and was with the team through May the 1st. Then he was sent back to AAA. And he's pitched very well here of late, and his last 6 times out. He's worked 8 innings and he's given up just 1 earned run. For the Indians, Carlos Santana, Yan Gomes, and Asdrubal Cabrera due up. Santana 0 for 3 with a walk. High fly ball to right field. Paredes makes the catch, on away. Back in the 8th inning, Nick Swisher with a 1-out single, followed by a base hit off the bat of Jason Kipnis. So they had 2 on, 1 out. And Santana struck out, and Gomes struck out to end the inning. That was their last
chance.
Little threat.
Right.
Reiner Cruz originally signed with the Detroit Tigers organization back in 03. But they cut him loose after the 05 campaign, sat out the 06 season, signed on with the Mets in 07. And then the Astros drafted Reiner Cruz as a Rule 5 selection before the 2012 season. his first spring training with the Astros, Brad Mills was his manager at that time, now the Indians' third base coach. And he said Cruz had all sorts of mechanical problems when it came to pitching. So they tried everything. Doug Brokaw, their pitching coach, they tried everything. At one point, they even had him work on throwing with his eyes closed so he could figure out a release point that was consistent every single time. The 1-2.
Well, he slings it up there, and that's what it does. It comes down here, and he throws it out of his body.
Got a weird delivery, doesn't it?
Yeah, but he slings it, but you look up, it's 96, 97. You know, maybe he's tough to pick up, and that ball gets on him even that much quicker. You see where his arm comes out. It's almost like off his shoulder.
Fouled right back. The only time he's ever been on the DL was when he sprained his ankle. But you wonder with that delivery how durable a guy could be like that. You look at it, you would say mechanically that looks like it's going to be trouble. But it works for him, and that's all that matters.
That's true. I've said that about a lot of pitchers, that guys have lasted a long time.
Down low, Gomes able to lay off in a full count. Payoff pitch. Gomes chops it foul. This is going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up here for Yan Gomes, who has struck out 3 times and singled. And the payoff pitch is hit hard and into left field, a base hit for Gomes. So the winning run is aboard here with 1 out in the 11th.
There you go. He got a ball down a little bit more than that's his liking. Is the ball down in the zone. He finds a hole between short and third. That'll be a base hit number 10 now for the Indians, for Gomes, his second. So you got a 1-out single, and we'll see where these guys will probably play a little deeper now.
Well, as Dribble Cabrera is the batter, he's 1 for 4 tonight. Though his one hit was a little dribbler that just stayed fair up the third baseline. Aldo Jimenez, what a start he had tonight. He went 7 innings, gave up just 1 run, struck out 9. A little bit outside, ball 1. Last 12 games for Cabrera, he has collected 10 hits, including 5 home runs and a dozen runs batted in. He might have been swinging for the downs there. Came up empty, 1-1 to count. Foul and out of play. .74 degrees at game time here this evening. Light breeze blowing out toward right field. And Cabrera down on the count here, ball and 2 strikes with the winning run at first base and 1 gone in the home half of the 11th inning. Little squibber again up the third base line, but Cabrera got a late break out of the box, and the throw to first. Not in time! Oh, he just did beat it out. I think he slipped or something coming out of the box. He didn't get a real good break. And a heck of an effort by Marwin Gonzalez. Nearly threw him out, but Cabrera beats it out, and now the Indians have 2 on with 1 out.
Well, he took a big swing and it went off the end of the bat, and it was a late break. And I'll tell you, he comes in and did everything he possibly could. Made a good throw, and you can see Cabrera just does beat it out. So good hustle by him. Nice play by Gonzalez at third. But man, right off the end of the bat. Put your head down and go, baby.
It wasn't so much that he slipped, but he had that big swing, and he was trying to figure out where'd the ball go. Second time tonight he's had a ball do that exact same thing.
Well, he looked back a couple times, which is, I don't understand. You put your head down, you get through as quickly as you can. You know they're going to try and make a play on it.
A chance now for Michael Brantley to deliver. Brantley 1 for 3 tonight, walked his last time up. And he takes a called strike. Michael Brantley, 4th best in the American League this year, batting .355 with runners in scoring position. Gomes carrying the winning run at second base. Inside he missed. 1-1 the count. Pitch. Brantley with a liner to center. Crow makes the catch. Gomes has to hurry back, and he does. With a head-first dive, get back to second base in time.
Well,
and there are now 2
They
out.
are very fortunate. That should have been a double play, and I don't think Crow could get it out of his glove. Gomes goes out there like it's going to be a base hit. He wants to try and score and then slip. Look at, he went back and then slips, and Crow didn't get it back in, and you can see the throw offline. They would have had a double play. But he's able to get back and give a chance now one time for Michael Vilas. That ball was hit right on the nose by Brantley.
Michael Vilas 0 for his last 21. While the Indians are 0 for 9 with 2 outs tonight. Hopefully something will give here in this 11th inning as Vilas takes a strike. Reiner Cruz trying to get out of trouble with 2 on and 2 out. Vilas trying to send everybody home happy. One ball, 1 strike. There's Yan Gomes, the winning run at second base. The outfield, not normal depth. Crow's actually fairly shallow in center. And that was in tight. Vilas gets ahead of the count, 2-1. Elsewhere tonight, Texas is just about to put the finishing touches on Tampa Bay. They lead 8-2 in the ninth. Texas went into that series with some wobbly legs, but after putting up 16 hits tonight, they're going to leave there feeling a lot better about themselves and their chances.
They had lost 7 in a row before getting that 1 win, and then they come back yesterday and they had a chance to win it in extra innings, and Tampa came back and scored on them, or in the 9th inning, I should say. They had to play extra, lost the game, come back and won tonight. Head to Kansas City tomorrow.
The Indians, meanwhile, needing a win to stay a half game back in this crazy wild card race. And a 2-1. A little bit low, 3 balls and a strike. Cruz sets. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Matt Carson will be the batter. And Matt Carson, you talk about a young man who has made the most of his opportunities.
Well, something's got to give here.
Doug Roquel, pitching coach, out to talk things over. Matt Carson, in his opportunities, is 6 for 8 at the plate. He hit .252 this year at AAA Columbus. But from July 31st until he got promoted, he hit .329. And he's one of those guys, you watch him before the game, he's out there running sprints, and he prepares himself every day. And when the call comes, he's ready. Look at that, 6 for 8. A homer and a couple runs batted in.
Yeah, something's got to give. This is the whole ball of wax right here. 2 outs, bases loaded, no place to put them.
Chops it foul. Matt Carson, a California product, was originally a 5th-round pick of the New York Yankees in 2002. He also spent time with the A's, Tampa organization, Minnesota. Bases loaded, 2 down, 0-1 pitch. Carson with a hot smash into right field. The Indians win it. Their 10th walk-off win at home this year as Matt Carson's magical season continues. 7 for 9 as a Cleveland Indian, and he delivers here in the 11th inning as the Tribe wins it 2-1. Carson bangs it through into right field, and the Indians will celebrate a much-needed win here tonight as they will stay a half game back in the wild card hunt as Matt Carson comes through in the clutch with the 2-out RBI single.
Well, you got to love it. You know, he got after that first pitch and fouled it off. He was just looking for the baseball to hit it. And then he stayed on the ball. Looked like he went with an inside-out approach. Got it by Altuve at second base. And what a big hit that was.
What a big hit for a guy who has banged around the minor leagues a long time. Hasn't had many chances in the big leagues. But he's making the most of this September with the Cleveland Indians. And it's time now for our KeyBank Key Play of the game.
Well, let's just get a replay of what we just saw. Bases loaded, that little two-seamer coming in, and you can see the dive into the outfield. Something had to give, and this kid has really done a beautiful job, hasn't he, Matty? He comes in here. You only get one opportunity. He gets it done. The Indians win. Nice way to kick off the homestand. KeyBank is proud to be the banking home of the Cleveland Indians. Visit your local branch today.
You root for a guy like Matt Carson. You bang around for 12 years in professional baseball. You get a handful of big league games. But that was a big hit for Carson and the Tribe as they win it 2-1. Indians Live is coming up next.